Good afternoon, everybody. The Buckeyes just wrapped up taking down Indiana. Nail biter there at the end. Whitney Harding joining me right now for some post-game coverage as we are waiting for the post-game press conferences with the coaches and players. Whitney, what'd you think?
I mean, honestly, it was kind of the way that I thought it would be. Maybe a little bit closer than I thought it would be, but we really saw from both teams their strengths and their weaknesses in this matchup. I mean, Indiana had almost 500 yards of passing offense. We knew that's what they were going to do. Their run game, not so great.
No.
We knew that was going to happen. And then Ohio State secondary needs some work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's clear.
Definitely a nail biter down at the end. They tried the trick play.
Yep.
Not executed very well.
Nope.
So Ohio State does hold off. It was really interesting. Jared said the same thing during our pregame show. He did not think it was going to be the 21 point game that the bookies essentially were predicting it was going to be. It was a one touchdown game.
Yes, and I mean, I actually have covered this Indiana program for about the past 5 years, and every year you'd see them kind of take those steps towards getting to this point. And the one thing that Tom Allen always said was, we need more explosive plays, and they've been building and building to this. And I think we've seen now that's the difference with this team this year is they can do those explosive plays, those huge plays. Ohio State has not given up 40-plus yard plays this year. Indiana had a handful of them.
I mean, they had some beautiful throws. The quarterback to the that one-star receiver, pardon me, what's his name?
Ty Freifogel. He had 200 yards last week. He had another excellent game today, 3 touchdowns. I mean, again, that was what we knew they would do. It was just kind of, okay, who is going to do what they do well better than the other team? And Ohio State ended up doing just enough. But yeah, they have stuff to work on now.
Absolutely. I'm reading some comments here. People are saying that Justin Fields might be hurt. Is that the case? What are you seeing on that?
It looked like at one point in the game he did get up a little bit slowly. They really were getting after him in this game. I did not get a chance to see the updates on Twitter for that because I was actually flipping between that and our state high school football games
Lots
that
going
are going
on today.
Ohio State commit Reed Carrico was playing this afternoon, so I was kind of trying to watch both. But he did get hit a few times and taken down and got up slowly there near the end. So it will definitely be something to watch for.
Absolutely. Speaking of Justin, the interceptions, the first of the year, and then he had multiple during this game, and definitely surprising.
Yes, and that is another thing Indiana does. They are averaging about 2 interceptions per game, which is incredible. They are one of the best turnover forcing teams in the country. So, and part of that is the blitz packages they do. It's hard for quarterbacks to read what's going on down the field when there are people all in your face, and that happens very, very quickly. And it was obvious early on that Justin Fields struggled to read those blitz packages, get the ball out quickly. Now, it did turn around. He had a couple really nice first down passes to Chris Olave that kind of got him back into rhythm with that. But definitely something that Indiana is very good at is the blitz package turning into interceptions down the field.
What do you think we're going to hear from the coaches, particularly Coach Day, during this press conference here? And that if you guys are actually just tuning in, that is what we are waiting for right now. The Zoom press conference, we will bring you in full for the players and coaches.
I think that he's definitely going to say we are glad to get out of there with that win. I mean, that is number one. In this season, it's first goal, play the game. Second goal, just get the win. It doesn't matter how you get there at this point. So they're going to be very happy. But I think he's definitely going to mention the secondary. One positive he might talk about, though, is the run game. I mean, Master Teague and Trey Sermon were fantastic today. And offensively, that was the difference because Indiana's run game with Stevie Scott is not as strong. We've been waiting for this Ohio State run game to kind of kick into gear with 2 great backs. We saw that today. That was huge for the Buckeyes to run clock and get big first down. So that's a positive he might talk about. But the secondary, the yards given up, that is going to be the big focal point. And I didn't see the final tally. I know they gave up at least 5 sacks.
Yeah,
that's an issue as well.
I didn't see the final tally. Do you know if Indiana ended up on the positive side of things as far as running goes?
You know what? They barely missed it. They were minus 1 yard.
I mean, it's still not good.
Ohio State had 307 yards. You know what's interesting about these stats, Christine? Ohio State had 307 yards rushing, 300 yards passing. That's what you like to see. So balanced, so even. But of course, the turnovers you hate to see. But Ohio State did forced some big turnovers as well.
Certainly.
So they did make big plays when they needed to. But now at least there is some film and things they can look at and be like, okay, we need to fix this moving forward.
Certainly, Shaun Wade, got to talk about him. Was that his first pick six of the season?
It was his first pick six of the season, but we've also got to talk about Shaun Wade because he was on Freifogel, and that was the battle of the game. And we all knew that coming in, that it was going to be Shaun Wade, Ty Freifogel, who was going to win out. And it was kind of funny to watch people tally it on Twitter. People would like, okay, this one won this one. Okay, this one won this one. I think it's clear that they each had their moments. I think it's also clear that Ty Freifogel is just a stinking good receiver.
He's excellent.
He's just very, very good.
Yeah.
And Michael Penix Jr. is very, very good at throwing the ball under pressure. That was what impressed me the most, was not just how well he threw the ball, but under pressure, because the Buckeyes front got to him. They did.
Absolutely. I think their confidence coming into this game too probably, in my opinion, helped out, because normally they'll come in and they'll be such an underdog. Maybe they won't have the greatest record. They're coming into Ohio Stadium, loud, very boisterous crowd.
Yes.
But people, they came in as a top 10 team, and they just seemed like they had the confidence of a team who hasn't been beat for the past 25 years.
Yeah. I mean, and for Indiana, there's a difference when you're coming in as an underdog, but you're an underdog that definitely feels overlooked. I mean, let's face it, when teams come in to play Ohio State, they're going to be underdogs more often than not. But there's a difference between being an underdog that's clearly an underdog like Nebraska was or Rutgers was versus an underdog that is ranked and has something to prove. And something to prove that where their program is headed. And that is what Indiana, I think they showed today where they are headed.
Certainly. I know the score during the first half, in my opinion, at halftime didn't exactly reflect what we saw on the screen. No. It was a much closer game, except towards the end there, where Ohio State really gained that momentum.
Yeah, there were some really big plays, and there was one that stood out
Whitney,
to me.
I don't want to interrupt you.
Nope,
I'm sorry, but Justin Fields is taking the podium right now.
More important.
Bad. Can you rate your performance for us?
I didn't play well at all. I have to improve. I have to get better. I think that's all I really have to say. So, yeah.
All right, we'll go next to Bill Rabinowitz from the Columbus Dispatch. Bill.
Yes, Justin. Obviously, the interceptions are uncharacteristic of you. Can you kind of explain what happened there?
Yeah, the first one started on a 2 high. They rolled down to 1 high. I tried to
okay.
What? Started in 2 high, rode down to 1 high. We had a seam and a dig, and I tried to fit it in the seam, and that's not the read, so I just got the read wrong. It's more of a, quarters look, but 2 high look. But I threw it to the seam when I clearly was supposed to throw it to the dig, so that's on me. The second one, I tried to throw it away, but got batted down, came up short before the sideline. And then the third one, I just tried to force it in there. I was trying to do too much. I saw Julian across the middle, and I thought he was going to sit there for me, and I guess the ball settled on me when I got tackled. So I just have to improve on that and, continue to get better.
All right, we'll go next to Nathan Baird, Cleveland.com. Nathan. Nathan?
Yeah, sorry about that. Justin, you had said earlier this week that, when you saw it on film, quarterbacks would get flustered against IU, kind of led them to kind of panicking, making bad decisions. Did you feel yourself doing some of those same things today just because of the pressure they brought from so many different angles?
I mean, of course I made bad decisions. I ended up with 3 picks, but I mean, we got the dub at the end of the day. That's all that matters. I'm just glad we got the dub 4-0. So I'm just going to go in and watch film tomorrow and continue to get better.
All right, next up, we'll go to Austin Ward, Letterman Row. Austin?
Justin, there's just this sense that you guys go through stretches where you're absolutely dominant and then haven't played that full game. What kind of happens there, do you think, where would you guys slack off a little bit?
I'm not sure what happens, but, Coach Day was just talking about it to us in the locker room, and we just have to start finishing teams. I mean, we get up on teams, and we just have to keep the foot on the pedal and, finish them. So we're going to work on it at practice. I don't know how we do that. We just got to, just have focus the entire game. So I think that's what we have to do. That's what we have to focus on. And like I said before, like I'm going to keep saying, we have to continue to get better each and every day at practice.
All right, next up, Bill Landis from The Athletic. Bill?
Justin, you guys have been so good all year on those kind of downfield play action passes. Clearly, that those were hard to get off today. Did you think you guys were trying to do them too much? Could you maybe go into a little more quick game to try to get the passing game going a little better?
I mean, Coach Day's the head coach. I just go out there and run the plays. To be honest, I'm not going to have an opinion on the kind of plays we run. I'm just going to run the plays to the best of my ability and try to make the best I can out of it.
All right, Patrick Murphy, 247 Sports. Patrick.
Justin, positive you guys got the running game really going today, especially with Master. How important was that given your struggles specifically?
Yeah, I mean, when I'm not, picking up the offense, other players have to pick me up. So I think Master, Trey, and those other running backs did a great job out there. And, they were just running north and south, being physical with the other team. So they helped me out a lot, and they helped the team out a lot. So I'm proud of those guys.
And the last question for Justin will go to Doug Lamarice, Cleveland.com.
Justin, can you just take us through the fourth down play at the end where you out there on the edge and tried to get it to Farrell there?
Take you through it, like just.
Why do you think you guys went with that play call, and did you think you had something working there, and why did it maybe not work out?
I think they covered it pretty well. I don't know if they were looking for it. I don't know if they were prepared for the naked, but we basically ran a bootleg play, and everybody was covered. And then Luke's guy fell off on me at the last minute, so I tried to get it to him, and then the pass was just off the mark. So that's kind of how it happened.
Thanks, Justin.
All right, Justin, thank you very much. We got Tommy Togiai coming up in just a minute. All right, Tommy, thank you very much for joining us. We will start with Spencer Holbrook from Letterman Row. Spencer?
Tommy, what was it about Penix that you guys had trouble getting pressure on him? I know that he's got a pretty quick release, but it seemed like every time you guys did get to him, he was still getting the ball off. What did he do effectively that kind of threw you guys off in the pass rush?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a good day, especially the D-line getting to him. It was just, he's still just getting the ball off. I know he has that quick release that's thrown for him. So I think it was just that quick release. He was still just getting it off even though we was getting back there. So I think it was just like quick release that he has.
All right, we'll go next to Stephen Means, Cleveland.com. Stephen?
So, Tommy, kind of to that point, how can you guys – I know you're not going to get a sack every time if you go back there, but how can you guys kind of look at this day as a positive when he is able to get the ball off still, even if his percentages are still down?
Yeah, I think we could do a better job probably. I know we was still getting pressure on him even though he was still throwing it up and getting completed passes. But, I mean, I think we could maybe try and get a better job just getting there faster. I think the last couple drives it was getting after him a little bit. So I think we need to try to replicate that, start doing more of that.
All right, we'll go next to Dan Hope from 11 Warriors. Dan?
Hi, Tommy. This is 3 games in a row now that it seems like opponents have started moving the ball and you guys a lot better in the second half. What do you think is happening that you guys aren't able to sustain what you're doing in the first half in the second half?
I don't think there's a different change. I think we just gave up big plays more in the second half than we did in the first half. They got a couple long passes in the second half that we need to get better at, get some more pressure and get the guys covered and get them on the ground. I think tackling too, we missed some tackles that were crucial in the second half. But I don't think we had the same mindset we did in the first half. It was just some big plays they got that we need to cut out.
All right, we'll go next to Tim May from Letterman Row. Tim?
Yeah, Tommy, this was billed as the Big Ten East Showdown, maybe the Big Ten Showdown. Did it feel like that as you're walking off the field today? Do you feel like you might have gone against maybe the second best team in the league? What's the feeling?
I mean, it's always good when you get a win. It's hard to win in Big Ten and always hard to just get a win in general. So, I mean, we're going to celebrate it tomorrow and today and then look on to Illinois.
All right, next up, Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch. Bill?
Yeah, Tommy. If you could just kind of talk about the mindset on defense, especially after the incompletion on fourth down when they got the ball with about 4 minutes to go. What was said in the defensive huddle? How'd you guys respond?
That's a defense's dream right there. You go out there in the game, sack or anything, play big plays. That's kind of the moments you live for. Able to rise to the occasion.
All right, next we'll go to Austin Ward from Letterman Row. Austin?
Tommy, to follow up on that, like what kind of conversations were you guys having as a defense, like after a big play or before that key drive in the fourth quarter?
Wait, are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like the conversations for you guys when it felt like maybe it was getting away from you a little bit.
I mean, we know what we have on our defense. We just kind of looked at each other in the eye like we need to cut out them big plays. Like I said earlier, that we need to cut those out because those were the only way they was really scoring. They didn't sustain the drive. They was really just getting the big plays on us. Yards and first. I need to cut the big plays out. So we did. We started to throw a lot, and we need to cut the big plays out.
All right, and last question for Tommy will go to Brendan Gulick, Buckeyes Now, Sports Illustrated. Brendan?
Hey, Tommy, it's kind of felt the last couple of home games now that you guys have maybe had some of your resiliency tested a little bit in the second half, both with Rutgers and now today. Can you talk a little bit about how you guys are trying to just kind of hit the reset button when things start to unravel a little bit so that you have been able to pull out both these games?
The biggest thing for us, we never panic. You know, if they score some points, touchdowns, they're gonna score, and we just gotta come back different, be better the next drive. We can't worry about they keep scoring. We gotta play each play like it's gonna be our last play. We gotta move on and keep doing what we're doing. We can't panic when they score consecutive scores. We gotta keep playing.
All right, Tommy. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
That was a few of the Ohio State players there talking after their win over Indiana just a few minutes ago. Right now, we are waiting for members of the coaching staff, likely Ryan Day, to be taking the podium. Oh, it looks like we have Shaun Wade actually up first.
All right, Shaun, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us, Shaun. We will start the questioning with Tony Gerdeman, Buckeye Scoop. Tony.
Shaun, I know cornerbacks are supposed to have no memory, but how was that today when you guys kept getting attacked and you gave up some big plays? How do you keep from just having any bad momentum?
It's a thing that Coach Cohn teaches us. He got on the board, it's like snap and clear. So whatever happens in that play, you just snap and clear, go to the next play for real. That's how we take.
All right, next question, Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch. Bill?
Yes, Shaun, could you kind of, first of all, walk us through the pick six and also just what happened, especially with the secondary in the second half?
The pick six, I just watching film knew it was coming. They run outside of that bunch, so I knew it was coming. And then the second half, it's not even just the secondary, it's the whole defense and the whole offense. I feel like in the second half, I don't know what it is, but we have to figure it out, especially in big games with competition, just like we play right now. We can't be giving up points like that in the second half and not scoring in the second half. So.
All right, we'll go to Dan Hope from 11 Warriors. Dan.
Yeah, Shaun, what do you think is wrong with the pass defense right now that's allowing teams to make as many big plays as they are?
Have to go back and really watch the film. Like I said, they got great receivers over there. We had good DBs. At the end of the day, they made their plays, we made our plays, and that's just how it goes.
All right, we got time for two more with Shaun, and then we're going to bring up Coach Day. First one to Clay Hall, WSYX. Clay.
Hey, Shaun, congratulations. How many times on those big plays do you tip your cap to IU, and then the others you say that's a bust? That's our bad. That's on us. How many? Break that down for me.
Yeah, we had we had a couple blown coverages. The one with 10 outside, that was a blown coverage. There's a couple we just have blown coverages, and sometimes they just make a play. That's part of playing football. Receivers gonna make plays. The DB's gonna make plays. So.
And last question for Shaun to Nathan Baird, Cleveland.com. Nathan.
Shaun, are you still confident right now that this is a championship defense and maybe particularly a championship secondary?
Oh yeah, definitely. If you just go from the first half, that was the championship defense. It's the second half, and it's just not the defense; it's the team in total. In the second half, we gotta find ways to put points on the board. We gotta find ways to stop missing field goals. We gotta find a way to stop on defense in the second half, and that been all our games from game one to now. So.
All righty, Shaun. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Day, thank you very much for joining us. We'll let you start with an opening statement if you'd like.
Yeah, really excited to be 4-0. Coming off the bye week there, and just looking back on everything we've been through in the last few months, to be 4-0, be first place in the Big Ten East, big deal. Couldn't be prouder of this team. I think when you get into a game like this, either the emotions run high, but most people don't know what these guys have been through. They don't understand the sacrifices that have been made. They haven't seen their families in months. When they leave the facility, they're isolated in their room, not allowed to go anywhere because of this virus. And this family is stuck together. Man, we said going into the game, we just have to figure out a way to win this game. That's all that matters, is that you win. And, that's just the way that we were all brought up in playing sports. You win the game. That's it. Now, there's a lot of things in this game that were unbelievable. I thought the start in the game was just ridiculous. The energy that we came out with was as good as I've seen. We played really well in the first half. Came out, scored in the second half. We can talk about a lot of different things that went on really in that first half, but in my opinion, it was really dominated. And then we let up some big plays and let them back into the game. And we got to figure out a way to close out games. This is kind of the second week now where we let a team hang around a little bit, and we got to get that fixed. But so many great things in this game. Indiana is a good team. They're a top 10 team. So this was not easy. And I'm really proud of this team. We got an opportunity this week and tomorrow to go back and watch the film and learn from it. But to be 4-0 right now, after we weren't even playing football a few months ago. Now we're back in this thing and we're rolling. And again, really proud of this team and the coaches.
All righty, we'll start the questioning with Jared Smalley, WCMH. Jared?
Hey, Ryan, obviously you want to coach aggressive. Can you walk us through the sequence there, 4th down and a yard around the 7-yard line? You decide you've got a young kicker. You decide not to kick it. You decide to go for it on 4th. You don't get it. Can you walk us through what you're thinking about in that moment and what ultimately happened there?
Yeah. Always want to be aggressive. 4th and 1. We've gone for it before in those situations. We'll continue to do that. Always want to be aggressive. I felt like at that point, they were moving the ball pretty good, and I was worried that a field goal may not do it, and wanted to be aggressive. Wanted to go up two touchdowns, and actually, like the call. We got to execute it better, but either way, that we know we're going to be aggressive in those situations. Looking back, when you don't get it, sure, you go kick the field goal. But there's been times we've gone for it in those situations and got it, and then pulled away from teams. So always going to be aggressive, and then not second guess ourselves when it doesn't work.
All right, we'll go next to Austin Ward, Letterman Row. Austin?
Ryan, I think most programs in the country would gladly trade positions with you to look at that stretch that you put together when it was 35-7. That's about as dominant as you could play. So is it a concern for you that you still are looking for this full 60 minutes, or are you pleased with what you can do when you're at your top gear there?
Yeah, no, definitely not pleased. Well, a long way from pleased. I mean, we got ways to go, but we played 4 games. It's almost Thanksgiving, and so it's just very, very bizarre. And there's just so much that has gone into the season that these kids have been through that, to the average person, they don't quite get that part of it. They wouldn't understand. But when you're in an environment like this, when there's no fans and you have to bring your own energy, it's just a different dynamic. And I think that's why you're seeing so much strange things that have gone on this year. Not making excuses. I'm just calling it for what it is. And we have to keep growing and get better and learn to adapt in this environment. And it seems to me like whatever the reason is, we're just the last 2 weeks, we haven't been able to finish that. We came out and scored right out of the gate in the second half. So I was jacked up. I thought we were going to run away with it. We didn't. So we got to coach better, and we got to execute better.
All right, we'll go next to Bill Landis from The Athletic. Bill?
Ryan, how would you assess the play on the back end of your defense, and also just how that's being coached at the moment?
Yeah, I think a little inconsistent. There was some big plays there. That Shaun Wade's pick 6 was huge, in the game. That was a big play. Anytime you get a defensive score like that, that was big. I thought when our defense got those stops after the interceptions and sudden change, that was really big. And I also thought that, I think it was Marcus Hooker who it was a big play. We got him down. We created the fumble at the end of the half, go in a 2-minute drill and score right there. That was huge as well. But there was big plays. There was plays that, really, if we don't give up those big plays, you probably run away with this game. But we did. I think it's 491 yards passing. I mean, that's way too much. Good news is, we obviously stopped the run. I mean, there was no run game at all. It was all passing. So yeah, going to go back, watch the film, and kind of figure out, where these issues are that are creating these big plays. Because when you stop with the big plays, then you'll be in pretty good shape. But that's a part of playing great defense, and we got to get that changed.
All right, next up, Dan Hope, 11 Warriors. Dan?
Yeah, Ryan, just following up on that in terms of, getting those 491 passing yards, do you think there's a consistent thing that your pass defense is struggling with, or is it just kind of different things that teams are hitting you with each week?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I think there are some probably things that we can look at that have been repeating. But I think there's also things that show up, teams attack you differently. And so we got to get that, like I said, we got to get it fixed. We got to really identify exactly that question. And anytime you have a problem like that, it's one of three things. You say to yourself, do you have the right personnel there? So you look at who's doing it. Then the second thing is, what is the scheme? Does the scheme give our guys the best opportunity to be successful? And then if both of those boxes get checked, then it goes coaching. Are we coaching it correctly? And so I think that's when you're trying to fix something, you have to identify one of those three things. It needs to get addressed, or maybe a little bit of each. And so that's what Sundays are for. And again, if you look at the first half, it's not like we're not capable of doing it, because we did it. There was some really good football being played there for a good chunk of this game. So where are those gaps that we need to fill in?
We got time for two more. We'll go first to Bill Rabinowitz from the Columbus Dispatch. Bill.
Yes, Ryan. Justin has obviously been very careful with the ball in his career here. Today, 3 picks. Could you kind of assess his performance and the issues you saw in those interceptions in particular?
Yeah, really gutsy, really tough. I mean, he got hit today. We knew going in that it was going to be a high-risk, high-reward game. That's the way that they are, and that you have to continually be aggressive. The first interception really wasn't a great read by him. He had Chris on the in cut. He thought he saw it too high and went to a 1 high. So I know he wants to have that one back. A few other ones, I think he tried to force it a little bit too much. But overall, I thought he played really gutsy. He made some big time throws. And they were blitzing. We knew they're blitzing every snap. I mean, literally every snap. So there was going to be negative plays. There was going to be some big plays, and that's kind of how it played out. And we did have 607 yards of total offense. So 300 yards rushing. Justin, he went for 300 yards passing and 78 yards rushing. Just amazing. But certainly want to have those plays back and those interceptions back. But at the same time, you have to be aggressive, and you have to go at them. You can't be on your heels when you play against a defense like this. And so there's a lot to learn from. But overall, the production was really good. But we got to clean up those turnovers.
We'll wrap up Coach Day with Doug Lamarice, Cleveland.com. Doug.
Ryan, you referenced when you have an issue, you have to figure out whether it might be personnel, scheme, or coaching. I know this might be a tough question post-game. If you ever do come to decisions that it is personnel, how do you decide? What are those decisions like when you think, hey, maybe in the middle of a season we have to put some different guys on the field? Are those difficult decisions to make, or is that just part of it?
No. Sometimes you have to make hard decisions. That's part of coaching. And again, usually when you assess something like that, it's not like, okay, it's only this. It's usually a little bit of this, a lot of this, maybe a little bit here and there. And if you tighten up all three of those areas, usually you see improvement. But yeah, at the end of the day, you have to put the best players on the field to make play. We believe in our guys. We have confidence in our guys. So I'll be very surprised if we have to make any changes, but maybe we will. I know we have to watch the film and see, because almost 500 yards offense in terms of passing is too much, and that's not acceptable. So we got to get that fixed.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yep. Hi, Coach Dave. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, guys. Thanks.
We think we're going to have Master Teague coming up next, either Master or Baron Browning. We got two more. Got Master and Baron. Look like it'll be Master. Thank you, Master, for joining us. We'll start with Joey Kaufman from the Columbus Dispatch. Joey. Joey? All right, we'll go instead to Tim May from Letterman Row. Tim.
Yeah, Master, you've got to kind of have mixed feelings, I think, a little bit. You had a career day today that student body left that you guys ran all the way to the end zone. That had to be a huge play, but there in the end, y'all couldn't just quite get that last first down you kind of needed. Just what would just take me through your feelings today? Do you feel like the running game got off the bench, so to speak?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite get your question there. Can you repeat
No,
that?
do you feel like the running game did get up and going today? I mean, especially you with a career high, and I'm sure you guys would maybe like the last possession back to get that last first down. But just what's your take on how you played and how the running game played today?
Yeah, it's definitely I think improving every week. Shout out to the O-line. They did a great job. We had a hard week of practice, running hard, running behind our pass, blocking, And so right now, overall, I feel good about it. Of course, we'll go back to the film and see little nuances that, we can assess and get fixed and work on. But overall, I feel good, feel great about it. It's a blessing. So
Thanks, Ben.
All right, we'll go next to Stephen Means, Cleveland.com. Stephen?
Hey, Master, you carried it 26 times today. Did you feel like you could get in a groove today because you were the constant running back out there and you were just able to just have the lion's share of the carries?
Yeah, I think I did get in a good groove today, and however that would have looked like, I feel like I would have still produced. But yeah, overall, I feel like I got in a good groove and was able to make plays and help the team win, come to a victory. So I feel good about that.
Is it easier to do that when you know you're going to just be the guy out there?
To a certain extent, it is. But I'm here to do whatever's best for the team, and if the coaches feel like that's the best for the team, I'm willing to do that. Go out there every time. If not, then whatever that looks like, I'm willing to do it and continue to make plays and help the team win.
All right, next up, Steve Hellwagon, 247. Steve?
Hey, Master, congratulations on the win. I think a lot of people, with you taking over as the starter, have been waiting for you to have that kind of breakaway type play. And that came, obviously, the 41-yard touchdown, and looked like the guys in front of you blocked it perfectly. Just how good was that feeling to put away a long one? And do you feel that's going to be the first of several, hopefully, for you going forward?
It feels great. That's one part of my game that I do have, and I have that capability, a home run hitter, but just hadn't been able to do that yet. So I was glad I was able to do that today, and continue to do even more. And just again, shout out to the O-line. It did a great job, like you said, blocking on that play.
All right, got time for two more. Brendan Gulick, Buckeyes Now, Sports Illustrated. Brendan.
Master, obviously you guys tried to run the football as much as you can today, but Justin Fields was under an awful lot of pressure when he was dropping back to pass. I'm curious if you can elaborate for us on how much emphasis you guys put into your pass protection preparation this week as a running backs group.
Yeah, we it's probably one of the most that we've done that since I've been here. This week we worked a lot on that. We know that they were going to be coming hard, and they did. I've never been part of a game where they blitzed that much, but I think it was a good experience. Just getting down and dirty and getting in the gritty of the game. And so, I wish some of those things didn't happen. Some of those sacks, but I'm just glad we came out with the victory, and Justin's feeling good. So, yeah.
All right, and last question for Master will go to Spencer Holbrook, Letterman Row. Spencer?
Master, when Justin's throwing a couple interceptions and you guys got the running game going, are you lobbying for more carries on the sidelines just to keep feeding me, keep giving me the ball?
Certain situations I might say, why don't we do this, do that, or you run this, run that. But for the most part, I'm just, I believe in the coaches, and I'm gonna do just be coachable, and whatever they have us do, I want to do great at it. But like I said, certain situations, I like to see a certain type of run or me get the ball. But it's a team game, and sometimes you just got to trust in the coaches, trust in the players. We're gonna make plays, and we did, and I'm happy. And Indiana's a great team, amazing team, great competition. We came in and we had a lot of respect for them. We knew that they were gonna come out and play. They weren't gonna quit. And so I'm just grateful for the victory, and thank the Lord.
All right, thank you, Master. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you guys. God bless.
And we'll wrap it up today with Baron Browning. All right, Baron, thank you very much for stopping by. We will open it up with Doug Lamarice, Cleveland.com. Doug.
Baron, it felt like you had a lot of coverage responsibilities with what they were trying to do to you guys today. From your personal end of it, how do you think you did? And then in general, what did you think of the pass defense today?
I think I got some areas I can grow in a pass coverage game. Kind of like the one instance where they kind of ran the little mesh route on number 10. He got in the end zone, kind of little miscommunication with me and the safety on that. But just the pass game in general, I mean, we got some things we can clean up. But I feel like each week we getting better in the area, and that's all that matters. How can we be better than we were last week in the passing game and just overall as a defense?
Thanks.
We'll go next to Austin Ward, Leonard Monroe. Austin?
Aaron, you guys seem to really be bringing that energy in the first half. Just seemed to flag a little bit after that. How can you sustain that for a four-quarter game?
I mean, just the willpower I feel like to do it. I mean, we got to work on that this week in practice. I mean, it showed up in Rutgers, and it's just something we got to fix if we want to be the team we know we can be when it's all said and done.
All right, next up, Nathan Baird, Cleveland.com. Nathan?
Aaron, in practice situations, are you guys getting the competition on the defensive side of the ball throughout the roster for guys pushing maybe for more playing time or pushing to get on the field? And maybe would that help address some of the situations you guys are having in pass defense?
Can you kind of repeat that question? I kind of missed it at the beginning.
Yeah, sorry. I just asked, are you guys getting the competition on the defensive side of the ball that you need in practice as far as more guys pushing to maybe get on the field and help address some of these issues with pass coverage?
I definitely think we are. I mean, that's a decision that's not up to me. That's up to the coaching staff. But I feel like regardless of who's in, you got to step up. We talk about competitive excellence. So your numbers call, you have to be ready. So, and I feel like that's the area we just need to do better in also.
All right, we'll go next to Dan Hope from 11 Warriors. Dan?
Hey, Baron, you mentioned, trying to get better every week, but obviously giving up 491 passing yards isn't what you guys wanted to do today. How much better do you feel like you guys have to get if you're going to be able to achieve your goals?
I mean, we just got to keep getting better. I mean, I really don't know what to say to that question. I mean, we just got to look at the film and, correct the errors. I mean, I feel like a lot was just, miscommunication maybe, or, thinking somebody else had that certain part of the coverage or, whatever the case may be. I mean, one little misstep or miscommunication, then, you get explosive play like that.
All right, I got time for two more. Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch. Bill.
Yeah, Baron, how do you kind of leave this game? I mean, you won, and that's the most important thing, but you also know that you've got to play better on defense as a group.
I mean, I feel like just, right now, we got the win. I feel like a lot goes into, getting a win each week, so we're going to enjoy that today. And, moving forward, we're going to address those issues and even, moving forward into next week. I mean, we just got to take it one day at a time and, correct as much as we can moving forward.
All right, and last question for Baron. We'll go to Clay Hall, WSYX. Clay.
Yeah, Baron, congrats. A lot of people were calling this separation Saturday, taking control of that East Division race. How big a hurdle did you clear today? I mean, how good does this feel to get this win?
I mean, we knew Indiana was going to be a hard team to play. I mean, they play us hard every year. They're a great team, got a great quarterback. So, I mean, it was definitely a big win. And I just feel like we got to keep taking it one game at a time because, we still got Illinois and Michigan State. Michigan is the Big Ten. So, we just got to take it one game at a time and not try to look forward and like we can just, not, jump that hurdle. So.
Gotcha. Thanks.
All right, Baron, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.